New with version 4.1, I now have an option in a customer or a catalog machine to import user-defined geometry. As you can see here, I can do this for all the different components, including the head. This would be the case if a company has sent you different data, and that data differs a little bit from what you have. Maybe you can import that. Maybe you export this and you can simplify the geometry a little bit for faster render times. But in order for this to work, you must have a closed topology. What I mean by that is if we take a look at my element here, let's just pick one, and I say OK, you're going to see a volume. It must have a volume in order for this to work. Okay, let's go back to the machine technology into machine. And let's start importing the new geometry into my customer or catalog machine. So under the table, I'll click here, and I'm going to pick, you can see that this differs a little bit here from this. So I'm going to pick my new table. And as you can see, it's going to update my machine here. All right, then I can save it. And it'll change this little icon here to red and not blue. Red means it's a user-defined geometry, and a blue is going to mean that it's going to be what we gave you. If I ever want to bring this back, I can right-click and I can say delete the user configuration. And that'll go right back to what you originally had. So I'll go here, I'll pick a new table. And as you can see, I labeled everything out here. So we got our X component of the machine, and I can basically redraw the entire machine. So we'll pick this guy. And as you can see, as we do this, it's now updating my machine. We can even do things like the housing here. So let's take a look at the machine base. So we have things like the enclosure, the doors, the carousel. All right, so let's pick the enclosure. To update the machine this way. We can even update the doors. Maybe your computer isn't keeping up with the machine, so maybe you need to simplify this a little bit. This could help in that area. Now let's update the head. So as you can see, I got a new spindle here. I'm going to grab my new spindle, and it's going to ask me for a tool position, which I'm just going to pick this point right here, same as the old one, and save this off. So all of my components are now red, which means this machine has now been updated. Again, if you want to go back to what we gave you, we can delete the user configuration if necessary. Let's say you have a machine and you want to export this and work the geometry a little bit. You can right click on this and say save the geometry, and that'll actually save the closed topology here. And I can now maybe change this a little bit. Maybe I want to delete some extra things, maybe add a coolant line here, and that's no longer there, so maybe I just want to get rid of that. Now when I look at my machine, it is much closer to what I have in real life.